So the snow season begins. I am up in Tahoe down there at Alder Creek Adventure Center, right behind me here, and it's about 7,100 feet here, so pretty high elevation. Truckee's at 6,000, so we'll see if that has any less snow. It probably does. It's probably just rain, but it's kind of cool. It's pretty slushy snow, so I mean, it's pretty. I'll give it that. So I decided to come to this Truckee Regional Park area. It's just like a bunch of green space. It's quite surreal right now, and I have on like this hard shell, and then a soft shell vest, and another soft shell jacket on underneath, and then just running gloves. So my hands are cold, but everything else is pretty warm. So I figured this would be a good park to come to. Martha's Valley, actually, that's what it's called. Just because we got the airport kind of right over there, and then North Star is in those clouds right there, and then right behind me there is Martha's Camp, which is where all the $15 million homes are. It's really beautiful. It's like a whole different world than what I definitely know of. You know, where if you've got a salaried job, say making $65,000 a year, you know, you're it's hard, but you can definitely make that work pretty easily. When I was at the school, I definitely did do that pretty well. $65,000 a year, driving on Uber also, and you're living pretty comfortably, even in a place like Tahoe. I mean, granted, they did subsidize your housing too. And that's kind of the main issue here, is just finding a friggin' place to live. It kind of seems crazy to me that in America we do have people who have literally like trillions of dollars, and yet there's so many people just living paycheck to paycheck, like barely making it by. And I don't need to be that close. And, you know, making a decent wage, $20 an hour, 20, 21, 25. But every 2 weeks you're making $1,600 to $2,000, so $4,000 a month, and your rent's probably $2,000. So half your money goes to rent, and then insurance for your car, health, utilities, food, family. It just seems like a lot, and I wonder how people do it. Now, I think it's good to be able to make a lot of money, be comfortable, but after a point, doesn't it get a little bit overwhelming just having so many houses, yachts, taking your own plane? I mean, at some point, all this crap starts owning you, like they say, and you know, you can enjoy all this outdoors really for free, have a sustained life, and you know, not feel for wanting, and then perhaps give back to the people who have helped you make all that money. All the workers in the Amazon warehouses, all of the engineers and people designing the latest tech, just giving people more of a livable wage, and perhaps foreboding that third or fourth house, which is at this point just basically an investment. I mean, it's like investing in the stock market, I suppose. And you know, you're not going to live forever, and probably whatever money gets passed down is just going to be like just squandered, most likely. So I don't know. I don't think there's really a right answer because the government would probably just waste it as much and corruptly as the person who hasn't really created anything in a while to gain that wealth. Well, I am now completely soaked through all of my jackets. And it was snowing pretty hard right back there. But now it's kind of like a drizzling snow over here. It's really cool with the clouds right back there. But yeah, at least back on the path now, the main path, and I didn't soak out my shoes, which is the most important part. And then back to the car. It feels kind of like an adventure, which wasn't really meant. All right, about 4 miles later, made it back to my home, which is my car right there. And that was a good walk, hike or something, whatever. Might have needed to spend that time on Uber, making some money, but you know what, whatever. I got all day. I don't think it's gonna be that busy, so we'll see what happens next. Alright, much later in the day, it is 4:30. I had to let my other jackets kind of dry out because they're all so soaked through. So I had to get the puffy jacket. And look at this. Look at this. He's even got a picture. A little selfie. That's cool. There's a couple gravestones here in the Truckee cemetery from like 1912, or at least that's when they died. I don't think the tombstone is from way back then, but that's pretty cool. Some World War II tombstones here. Maybe it just shows a little bit of the Tahoe history. Pretty good. I've never come in here before, but I was doing some Uber rides, dropped someone off with, and I figured I'd come over here, finish up today's vlog, and just talk about a little bit from this morning about the 1%ers, I guess, taking a lot of the money, and just doing Uber today, just trying to make any money I can, accepting everything, the trash, whatever, I was taking it. And it kind of, in a way, it's like manipulation. I think that these companies know that a lot of people are hurting for any kind of money right now, and so they can get away with not paying employees as much just because we're all so desperate for, you know, an extra $50, an extra $100, whatever it is, to kind of pad that bank account just for a little bit longer until we get our 2-week pay or whatever from those of us in, you know, also doing the gig economy along with a real job. Right now, for me, I'm just not committed to Tahoe because of the winters and just the housing. If you do find housing, it's expensive. It's all old and dilapidated. And I'm just not ready to go through that again. I think I'd just rather move back home to Idaho and admit defeat. But, you know, because of that, moving, you know, it's not very cheap, so I've got to take all the trash that comes my way. Whatever it takes on Uber, make it happen. And that's the trap that I think a lot of us fall into. Maybe by choice, and maybe that we're forced to. It's a new world, and it's tough to navigate. But I think we're all in it together, except for those who are in charge, the politicians, the celebrities, those who have sold their soul to the dollar in exchange for humanity.